Guys, welcome back to another video. So this week I am going to be talking about the last 5 episodes of Cobra Kai. The last episodes ever. So the finale and all that, just kind of discussing it, giving my thoughts on it, what I thought about it, and just kind of going through some of the most important and best moments from the final episodes. Yeah, so we'll just jump right into it. So obviously episode 11, Into the Fire. After what happened at the Sekai with, Kwan dying and everything, and then we see his funeral and stuff like that. So pretty crazy. Daniel is pretty messed up after what happened, and then everything with Mr. Miyagi. That was sad to see, how he was trying to get rid of the bonsai trees. That was heartbreaking to see, him being like that, so yeah. Okay, this is just hard for me because this is most likely my last Cobra Kai video ever, because it's over now. It's not going to be another season. And so, yeah. So that's really sad. But this was... But I feel good about it. A lot of shows will just not end it well. They won't, where you're really sad it's ending, and then it is in the finale, where the finale just doesn't satisfy you, there's some things they missed or left out, and they didn't tie up everything maybe, or yeah, just things like that. We're just, you wish you got to see this and this and whatever. So the Cobra Kai finale, I'm not being dramatic or over exaggerating when I say this, it is actually the best series finale I have seen, possibly ever. I was gonna say in a long time, but possibly ever. Of all the shows I've watched, yeah, it was completely satisfying. So it's of course, I'm sad that it's over and they canceled it. It would have been cool if they had another season and did something, but with the way they ended it, I'm satisfied because I got everything I wanted, everything I was hoping for, exactly, everything was exactly the way I wanted it to be. All the couples were together who I wanted to be together, and all that. And going into the last season, I did not think that I was going to see everything that I wanted to, Johnny and Carmen getting married and having the baby, and those big moments that I was I need those to happen. If the show's ending, I need to see those moments before it ends forever. And I got those. It's these only 5 episodes, I mean, it was 15 episode season, but, you know, when we had the first 2 parts came out and I watched those, they were good, but then, you know, I was like, okay, there's only 5 episodes left and there's still like so much, you know. I was like, how are they going to wrap it all up in just these last 5 episodes? But they did it. They actually did it, and it was amazing. It was actually perfect. Like, I truly don't have anything like bad or negative to say about it, honestly. Yeah, so episode 12 is probably my favorite episode from probably the whole season. This is when Johnny tries to propose to Carmen, but then she ends up going to labor and she's at the hospital, so Johnny meets her there, but then he still does it. Like, when that happened, I was like, oh great, like, he's not gonna do it now because, like, she's giving birth and, you know, he wants it to be like the perfect time and everything. But then no, he just went and did it right there, and it was honestly perfect. And then they literally got married right there, and it was absolutely perfect. And I loved just like every little thing, like how like his friend Bobby was the one that came and, you know, like married them, and then how he had the like people like playing music, and it was the song from Top Gun, because back in like earlier seasons Carmen had mentioned how like that was her favorite movie, and so I thought that was like a really sweet touch. And yeah, like, it was crazy. They were like in a hospital, she's like in labor, but they just like got married right there, and it was, you know, it was sweet and perfect. Her mom and Miguel and Robbie were there, so yeah, it was perfect, and I was so happy they finally got married. And then she gave birth and had a beautiful baby girl, and they named her Laura, which is Johnny's mom's name. And so I thought that was so sweet and perfect how they did that. I love that. And yeah, and then just, you know, we didn't get much, of course. You know, if we had another season, like, that's the only thing that's kind of sad, of just, you know, not being able to see them, like, you know, living their married life, and, you know, Johnny being a girl dad and stuff like that. I would have loved to see more of that, but it's okay. At least we got a couple little sweet moments of him, like, holding his baby and, you know, telling her things and stuff. So yeah, at least I got a little bit. And I honestly, like I said going into it, I did not think I was gonna get any of that, and so, like, I'm so happy. So yeah, like, that's like the best episode ever to me. Okay, and then after that, like, we go back, episode 13, Skeletons, we go back to the tournament and whatever. In this episode, we have some moments with Chris where he, like, is finally, seems to be, like, finally actually changing for the better, and he goes and apologizes to Tori and to Johnny. Of course, like, Johnny was not having any of it, you know, completely understandable. And then, so then we go to the tournament, whatever. Robbie has his fight with Axel, but Axel breaks his knee, and so obviously Axel wins, and yeah. So, of course, that was kind of sad. Yeah, it would have been cool if, you know, Robbie, like, won, because I don't think this whole show, I don't think he actually, like, won. a tournament because they always like Miguel won, and then yeah. Anyways, and then Sam decides she doesn't need to fight anymore. Like, she's just done. Like, she doesn't feel the need to anymore. She's done like fighting her friends. Like, she doesn't want to fight Tori anymore and all that. And so she withdraws. And so then Miyagi-Do resigns from the tournament. And of course, Johnny really upset about. But Daniel is just like basically done, whatever. And then here we've come to another like one of the biggest moments of the entire show, where Johnny runs out to see Grease, and they have this like really special moment. I cried on this scene. This scene was just like heartbreaking and just like so sad, but also so sweet at the same time. Yeah, one of the best scenes ever, and like the acting was phenomenal. Yeah, Johnny just starts crying and just like letting it all out. How he felt about Kreese and everything, and then Kreese said his thing, and then like they just hugged, and yeah, it's like they finally made amends, and then Kreese is like, if there's anything I could do to like make it up to you or whatever, and then Johnny's like, there's one thing, and I was like, what's that gonna be? And then we have the like most epic moment, probably like insane. We go back to the tournament, and the guy announces it, and out comes Miguel and Tori as Cobra Kai. Kreese gave up his position to Johnny, and so they are now in the Sekai Tekai as Cobra Kai. And yeah, I can't even describe what that felt like just seeing them come out, and like, this is what I'm talking about, how like perfect it was. Literal, like, I can't even say everything because we would be here like forever, but just every little thing, every big thing, every minor, just everything, just how it was just perfect, like truly. It just how they brought it like completely full circle, with them like going back to Cobra Kai, and yeah, like with Miguel and being who was OG Cobra Kai from beginning of the show, and then everything they went through was just crazy, and then end up back there. Like, I never expected that, like, seriously. And yeah, like, just seeing Miguel and the Cobra Kai gi again, and Johnny, of course, like, it was just epic. And then like having their whole team, everyone else in the Cobra Kai gis. And okay, just have to say a little thing about Daniel. Like, that was honestly one of the craziest things, seeing Daniel in the Cobra Kai gi. Like really never thought I would see that, but that was pretty cool. So yeah. Okay, so yeah. It was like the end of episode 13, and then we have episode 14, Strike Last. So at the start of this, Daniel buys the old Cobra Kai dojo back for Johnny, which was like so so cool. Again, like, you know, full circle and whatever, like going back to the beginning, like back to where the show started and whatever. And then again, we go resume the tournament, and Tori beats Zara by knocking her out. That was epic. And then Miguel beats Axel, which was also epic. Yeah, so like before season 6 came out at all, me and my brother, because he also watches the show, I think like in my last Cobra Kai video I like mentioned that how he's like the one that told me to watch it, so that's how I started watching it. Anyways, so before season 6 came out, we had like made a bet of who we thought was gonna win the Sekai Tekai, because obviously this was before we saw it. We didn't know like how like the tournament worked and like whatever, you know. And so we just like made a bet, and I had said Miguel and he said Hawk, I think, yeah. And you know, I had always said like obviously Miguel's my favorite, and like Hawk has always been his favorite character. But yeah, he always says like, oh, Hawk is a better fighter and like stuff like that. I'm like, like I love Hawk, but no. And then season 6 like came out, or like part 1 and part 2, and then you know it just was like part 1 and part 2 came out, we like my brother was like, the bet is off, like we're not doing it because it wasn't like how we thought it was gonna be. It was just, you know, completely different. So like it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like that because it was like team thing and whatever. So yeah, and then part 3 came out, and you know how like Miguel won and everything, and so I like said to my brother, I was like, okay, I know like we're not doing the bet anymore because, you know, whatever, but like technically I did win because I said Miguel from the very beginning, and like it didn't go like how we thought, which is why he called the bet off. But like technically I did, because it was exactly what I said, which is that like it was going to be Miguel because the show started with him, you know, from the very beginning. It started with Miguel. He was like the new Karate Kid, and so it only would make sense to end with Miguel, and you know, with him, you know, going back to Cobra Kai and then being the captain and winning the tournament, like, you know, and it was exactly what I said. So yeah. Anyways, just like to point that out. So yeah, and then what else? Okay, right. So Silver is like plotting in his yacht, and he's telling his like henchman Dennis to go kidnap Johnny's wife and daughter. But then Kreese just like suddenly shows up and kills Dennis, and then he and Silver start fighting, and then it's like not looking good for Kreese. Silver's got him like pinned down, but then Kreese manages to grab his cigar that he dropped, his lit cigar, and then throws it at the fuel, and it blows up the yacht. Therefore killing himself and Silver. And that was like another insane moment that I did not expect. But yeah, like Kreese doing that, doing that for Johnny, you know, protecting him and his family like that, like truly showed that like he has changed and, you know, really wanted to make amends. And be better, and he was like truly sorry for everything that he has done and put Johnny through and everyone else and stuff. So yeah, like how he just sacrificed himself, like that was epic. But yeah, so it's sad that, you know, Kreese is gone now after like he finally got his redemption. I'd like literally been waiting for forever. Finally got it, and then he dies, which is really sad. But you know, how he sacrificed himself was like also like kind of perfect, you know, how we went with the story and everything. And yeah, but wonderful that Silver is finally gone, because that dude is truly a psychopath. And yeah, so anyways, okay, and then finally we have the last episode ever, the finale, episode 15, Ex Degenerate, which, by the way, that title is just perfect. Like, I love how they did that, because the very first episode ever of season 1 is titled Degenerate. Yeah. And then it's Ex Degenerate. Yeah. Anyways, so we start the episode off with Johnny preparing for his fight against Wolf with Daniel and Chosen, and that whole like thing, that like montage of him like training with Daniel and all that was like super cool. I love that. It was a great scene. And then we get to the fight, and in the beginning it was really not looking good. Like, Johnny was all in his head and stuff, like messed up. He was not doing well at all, just like going back like to the past and whatever. And Wolf was beating him, but then Daniel gives him a Cobra Kai style speech, and that like gives him his confidence back, and he's able to go back out there and beat that guy, Wolf. So that was like another amazing moment. Like, you could just see like how much he wanted that and how much like he needed that, and whatever. Like, it was like the moment like he was finally like redeemed, like, you know, from losing to Daniel 30 years ago, and all that happened after and everything. So yeah, it was just, again, like, just perfect how they did that with, you know, the show started, you know, with Johnny and like just like holding on to all of that stuff from his past, you know, from 30 years ago and everything, and then having it go with having to do this fight with the senseis, and, you know, it being Johnny, and then, you know, him, you know, in the Cobra Kai gi again, and winning, just perfection. So yeah, that was another incredible moment. And yeah, seeing Daniel like all fired up like that, giving that like Johnny kind of speech, you know, the Cobra Kai, like, that was crazy. I was like, oh my goodness, who is he? Oh my goodness, who is this guy? Like, what? It's that Cobra Kai, you know? It's like magic. But yeah, that was just like super, super cool and fun to see. And yeah, Daniel like embracing it a little bit. Yeah, so then there's that, and then the show ends just perfection. Johnny and Carmen get a nice house, and they move in with their baby. And then Daniel and Johnny are, you know, senseis together with, you know, Cobra Kai, teaching the kids Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. And then we got Sam going to Okinawa. And then Miguel like ends up going with her to like help her get settled in and spend some time with her, whatever, before he has to go to Stanford, start, you know, his new life. And then we got Hawk and Dimitri heading off to Caltech together, which I think that was super cool how they did that, of like ending up with Dimitri deciding to go there as well, and how they're gonna be together. I just truly love their friendship so much. It's just super cool. And yeah, and then we got Robbie and Tori like together doing their thing, like modeling and whatever. I just love how they're together and happy, like finally, you know, doing these awesome things. Like their futures are bright. They're happy, they're together, they're doing great, and yeah. I think that's basically it of all. Yeah, just trying to make sure I didn't miss any like other big or, you know, important moments or things I wanted to say. Yeah. So that's it. That's the end of Cobra Kai, but I don't know. I mean, is it really the end? Because, you know, Cobra Kai never dies, so is Grace really dead? I don't know. Anyways, this show has truly meant so much to me. One of the best, as I said in my last Cobra Kai video from a couple weeks ago. If you watch that, if you haven't, go check it out. But yeah, I just won't say because I like already went on in that video, so you can just go watch that video. But you know, I just said how much the show has meant to me and just how much I love it. You know, truly one of like the greatest shows ever. One of the best shows I'd seen in a long time. My comfort show, and it did not let me down, and I greatly appreciate that, because I've had like some other comfort shows that were my comfort shows. Like, I love them so much, you know, I would just watch it over and over again, because, you know, that's what you do with a comfort show. But then they ruined it. Like, Outer Banks is one. There's been multiple, but one most recently is Outer Banks, you know, with killing JJ. Like, they just ruined it, because now, like, they kill my favorite character, one of my favorite characters, and just make it, like, so hard. Like the comfort show won't be comforting anymore, because even like to go back and watch the other seasons, it's just like sad now, because I'm like, oh, there's JJ, but like he's dead now, which, you know. So yeah, and this never had anything like that, and it ended great, ended perfectly, ended happily, which means I will be able to just go back and rewatch it, all the seasons, whenever I feel like it, and it'll just bring me comfort, no matter what, because they didn't ruin it. So, thank you for that. Truly spectacular writers on that show. So, yeah. Anyways, so comment your favorite moment that happened from like the last 5 episodes, or like the finale. Comment like one of your favorite moments of it, or just like comment your thoughts on like how it ended and stuff. Like, were you satisfied? Like, whatever. So yeah, and that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Subscribe if you love Cobra Kai, and share with your family and friends because it really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And yeah, remember, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.